All right, 4 p.m. game, Broncos at Bengals. Another simple one. Broncos win, they are in. If they lose, though, they get the Chiefs next week. The good news for them, though, Chiefs have nothing to play for. May very well rest.
Correct.
So, Bengals, they need to win, and some help to get in. Basically, they need the Colts to lose a game and the Dolphins to lose a game down the stretch here. So they have a very, very outside chance. But all that being said, they're 3-point favorites in this game with a 49.5-point over-under. Leger, what do you think of this one?
Yeah, I like the Bengals in the spot. The only thing is, and Kyle, you know this, once you get your butt kicked the week before, like everybody's on edge, right? You have a look in the mirror. And I'm talking about the Broncos defense specifically because they've carried this team the entire year. And what Justin Herbert did to them in the second half, nobody has done to them all year long. Right now, again, they're playing one of the most, if not the most explosive offenses this week in the Bengals. So it'll be interesting to see, like, do they take PS2 and travel him with Jamar Chase? Like, I can't wait to see that. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see.
That's a heavyweight showdown right there, bud.
Yeah. And I will say this, Rashawn Slater made Nick Bonito look like he wasn't an all-pro at all last week. So if you're Nick Bonito, you're pissed off, right? And this is an offensive line that's has an issue for the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, the thing is, Joe Burrow usually gets it out of his hands so quick it doesn't even matter. And on plays where he doesn't, nobody has better pocket presence than Joe Burrow. So he's able to maneuver in the pocket better than most quarterbacks in the league and find receivers down the field. So I'm going to be real interested to look at this Denver Broncos defense to see if they can respond against one of the most, if not the most explosive offenses in all of football in the Cincinnati Bengals. And then obviously we're going to be looking at Bo Nix. I think I told Mike a stat the other day. In games where Bo Nix is either tied or down, he has 11 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. You're not winning a lot of football games doing that, right?
There's a difference between trying to claw back and staying on schedule, right?
Correct. They have to stay on schedule. And the thing is, with Cincinnati, we kind of know they're going to put up points. How does that bode for Bo Nix? Because I read you off the stats. It doesn't bode well if he has to chase points or it's a tight game, right? Even in the Indianapolis Colts game, he didn't play well that game, but the defensive special teams won him that game. And when he had to get into a shootout with Herbert, it got ugly for him. So that'll be another thing to watch in this game. I like the Bengals in this spot.
Orlando Brown Jr. dealing with a lower leg injury. He was limited in practice early on this week, full participant as the week went on. Mobility never his strong suit, right, Mike?
Mm-hmm.
Mobility is never Orlando Brown's strong suit. When you're playing against a guy like Nick Bonito, you better be mobile as hell.
Yeah,
so that may be a matchup to watch.
I actually like the opposite side of this one, Leger. I like the Broncos and a good
really
because I think that offense, the biggest thing, I think the trailing versus away is more, I don't want to say more so, but like when their run game works or when they have the running game as an option. And if you're playing the Bengals, the run game is always an option. Fourth worst defense against the run
That's true.
in terms of EPA this year. So like when the run game moves, that's when Bo Nix can do his Bo Nix stuff and take these like 5-yard completions. When they're getting 5 yards in the running game on first down and they can keep staying on schedule. It's when Bo Nix has to do it 2nd and 13, 3rd and 12. That's when it's like Bo Nix turns into not Bo Nix or turns into the guy that you don't want to be seeing. So I think uniquely against this Bengals defense, I think there's a good chance of staying on schedule. And then on the flip side of the ball, you already touched on Benito versus Orlando Brown. That's not a good matchup for Orlando Brown. The speed that he has is kind of what he struggles against already, even without the mobility.
There's not many guys it's a good matchup for against Benito. Yes. And that's one
Rashawn Slater's one, though. He's a freak. Like that guy can get off the line.
Goodness
so he's a guy that can handle the speed like that. Orlando, not necessarily.
Rare traits, though. Traits for Slater.
Yeah. And then you have Patrick Surtain, who is a big physical corner that can uniquely play man against Jamar. Now, no one's going to like do it wholesale, but he's not going to get his ass kicked, right, against Jamar Chase the way most corners are in the NFL. So I think they just have some good matchups to me that make me think the Broncos can win this one, even though I still think it'll probably be a close game and come down to the wire either way.
Final thought is this. Joe Burrow, he ain't all the way out of it yet. I think we're going to see a special brand of competitor from Joe Burrow in this football game. After watching
Mahomes,
after watching Lamar Jackson, he's got FOMO. about the playoffs. They're 1.5 feet out the door of this playoff conversation. They need some help outside of winning. I fully anticipate Joe Burrow's fight response to kick in, and it's going to be a dog versus dog fight in this one.